so we follow uh, what they say. Yeah.
Now, big question I have is when we've been talking about this since, like, say, we started doing a Goma basketball show back in March, right when this all happened. Did you actually think that, again, that being this far ahead back in March, that you're going to see your season canceled?
No, not at all. In fact, I felt we had a lot of time to actually plan, put some stuff together, come up with definitely different situations for travel and how to have the ability to almost create some type of safe environment for our kids once they attended the different universities and we'd be able to play. So I feel like we had a lot of time to do that. At our school, we were willing to, if we had to, shut down the stadium and do what needs to be done in order to have games in a safe environment. So I really did not think that we were not going to have a season this year at all. In fact, it kind of caught me by surprise that same day. So for us, it was a shock. But I guess other people are in different situations. Other universities are in different situations as well. So I guess they decided to go to a safe. Uh, how can I say, to make it safe and just not have the season.
And we'll talk a little bit about more about the OUA's decision, then we'll get into Goma's. But when it comes to finding out, how did you find out about the season being canceled?
Oh, really? Just found out like everybody else, right? On that same day, just knowing that the season was going to be canceled, and they had made that decision. But prior to that, I didn't have any really idea. Maybe heard a little some rumors here and there, but nothing before that week. So the announcement came on a Thursday. So I'm telling you, even on the Monday, Tuesday, we were still, planning as if there was going to be a season.
And with the cancellation came during weeding week for Algoma. How did that affect you as a coach approaching that with the players?
It's tough because these are my guys. These are guys that you're going to build a relationship with. These are guys where we kind of have something where we said we tell each other the truth. And then this came out, and then I wasn't able to really meet with them in person and look for solutions and talk about what we could do as a program to help and continue building, because at Algoma University it's really about academics, basketball, but also having the ability to do things at a social level. And if there's some bad news, then you want to be able to communicate with the people you're working with. For me, being coaches and basketball team, but then read week everybody's away, right? Everybody's enjoying that time off. So it came in a very, very bad moment for us. And it was tough. It was tough, man. It's like this COVID-19 is forcing us to do everything via Zoom, which is, in my opinion, not a right way of approaching things when you're building relationships and you're trying to accomplish something with a team of individuals.
And something, again, when it comes from the OUA, and just now, should have been done. Should have they waited a little longer in your opinion, or should have been done earlier, or was it done at the right time? Your opinion on that?
My opinion is definitely we should have had a season. So waiting a little bit longer or planning in case something happens, I think is my opinion. So to answer your question directly, we could have waited. We could have said, listen, this is what we're planning. We're planning these 14, 16 games for January. Let's see what we can do. And then at the last moment, say, hey, you know what? Maybe we don't have a true solution. We don't have anything. Cancel it. That's my opinion. Was that done? I do not know. I wasn't part of the process. I wasn't part of any decision making. In fact, even in terms of opinion, I don't think we had much of an opinion. But we could have prepared, regardless of what happened. We needed to prepare for a season. So we could have waited a little bit longer. I mean, people that can predict illness is incredible, um, in my opinion. So I mean, what can you do? I would have done it differently. We would have prepared everything, and then we would have said, you know what, guys, we're not being safe. There's no way to make it happen in a safe environment, so let's cancel the season. We could have waited until November 30th or so, and seen what would have developed in terms of, we say we have the best pharmaceutical, we have the best, we talk about medical and medicine and all that kind of stuff. So I thought we could have waited, but obviously it was not the case, and they felt that the decision needed to come sooner than later. So we'll just live with it.
Now, do you think this is because maybe they're student athletes compared to professionals and the CHL waiting till January? Is this maybe the decision because they're student athletes?
Um, I don't know, to be honest with you. That's a very, very good question. I mean, is it because it's student athletes? I mean, it doesn't really. You still have to plan. Like if you were a professional at anything that you do, if you were a doctor, you still would need to plan to have everything ready to go. And then if it's canceled, then you cancel it at a certain point, right? And
Yep.
like I said, I was not part of this discussion, so maybe there was a planning in place. I was not informed, right? So I was only informed about the cancellation. So for me, is it because they're student athletes? I don't know. I mean, they're still students. I mean, they still would have had to, I guess, get ready for the next semester and do all that. So doing it early might have been a good decision, so that they can make decisions, financial decisions, in terms of, do we go to the university to study? Do we do all these things, right? Or do we complete our second semester online? So that's what I'm seeing. So I really don't know if it's because of student athletes, but if it is, that was some good thinking.
Now, the question I have is, what's next for your men's basketball program for the student athletes? Is it mandated that you want them on campus?
For us, we're still going to be doing our training. That doesn't change. Our motto has always been, uh, full-time dream, full-time effort. We try to get better. So that's what we're going to do. Obviously, we're going to need to modify some of the things that we're doing. But at the end of the day, we want to be able to continue training, keep their mental health high. I mean, a lot of these individuals love this sport. So it allows them to get better marks, better grades. So we're still going to find ways to train and get better. And like I said, academics, basketball, and social interaction for us is very important. So we're going to keep working on those three aspects the best we can.
Now, question I have is, when it comes to the student athletes, if a player decides to return home, does that affect his status going forward?
Well, we have to understand that in my, I'm going to talk for basketball, men's basketball, my personal opinion. Um, in my years of coaching, if a player is not active and able to do certain things in terms of sporting for a whole year, chances are career is done. So um, players need to understand that if you make a certain decision in terms of, um, for other reasons, and which is understandable, for other reasons like, health wise or financial or everything, also understand that you're doing a decision that is beneficial for you, but also you have to understand that some people have to make decisions that are beneficial for, the program. Now, does that mean that they're not going to be able to come back? Probably not. But if you're in an environment where the gym is closed, the weight room is closed, you don't have access to training, you don't have access to, uh, nutrition, you don't have access to getting better, and then some other kid that we've been working on in this recruiting, and he has access to do all these things, you might be put in a very, uh, tough situation. So it's not a no, if you leave, you're not going to be part of it. Understand that there are steps to progress. There are steps for you to get better. There are steps that needs to be taken, And if you're able to take these steps on your own, then feel free and do it. And when it's time to reevaluate, hopefully you're good enough to play. It's an elite level basketball. It's not just going around and dribbling the ball and wake up. You can't just wake up out of bed 2 weeks before and think you're going to be all right. That's not the way it works. So obviously, every single student athlete is going to have to make a decision according to what they can do, so they can perform at that high level when everything gets up and around again, up and going.
And as a coach, like say, they are student athletes, and they're their first thing, and they're there for school. But a lot of times, when it comes to OUA athletes, that they think they're there for sport then school, but it is school then sport. But coming from a coach's point of view, you're coaching these young men, but at the same time, it is a business, so it's something that you got to develop the program to get to the next level realistically to keep your job too, right?
Definitely, it is a business. Um, we want to treat it as serious as we can. Like I said, for us, academics is very important, right? But also, I mean, you want to play. There's some dollars involved. It costs a lot of money to get this league up and running and going, and we want to be able to share those dollars with individuals that are providing a good good performances, right? So, and those performances are academically, basketball wise, but also at a social level. So, yes, it is a small business, and you receive some dollars because you're good at a task, you're good at a craft, and it just happens to be basketball.
Now, the thing I have is, back in March, we never thought we'd still need these protocols in place for October. But when it comes to your athletes coming into the George Leach Center in Sault Ste. Marie, what protocols are in place to deal with like say the pandemic still?
Oh, we definitely keep them safe. We have a list of protocols that has been given to us by the provincial health organization, right? So we just really apply those guidelines so that the kids can come in and practice in a safe environment.
And now talking about a safe environment, and now the announcement coming last week on Thursday from the OUA. If the numbers of COVID-19 cases decrease in the coming months or things like that, is there a chance for an exhibition season in January 2021? Will the OUA allow that?
Um, in terms of decrease in the COVID-19, the OUA already has stated their position. So they basically said that they would not be running anything in terms of basketball championships and stuff like that. So exhibitions would really fall onto the different universities if we would like to get together and run some exhibitions or scrimmages, all that type of stuff. Is if we're able to keep the kids safe, and if it opens up, then definitely that's an option that can happen in January. In terms of OUA, we really need to forget about them until March 31st. They were really clear in their statement. So for us is finding some solutions where if it opens up and we have the ability to travel and do it in a safe environment, definitely we're looking for a positive outcome in terms of getting some scrimmages going with other universities.
And something we always talk about, you have the Algoma Thunderbird logo across your chest, mostly over your heart.
Yes.
And I know you hold everything close to your chest. Can you talk about what schools you might bring into the area circle if you can?
Well, I can't really talk about my school because we're still having, and we're going to start these discussions. So I cannot say, okay, listen, this is what we're thinking of doing. This is what we're planning, right? But obviously, we want to be able to create something where, it's not a whole year lost where there's no basketball.
And that's totally understandable. And with the cancellation, and you still working with the guys, hopefully on some type of exhibition season. We always again Etienne, Jacquet, but there's EJ there, and you've come with a little bit of extra time in your hands with EJ Ballers. Can you talk a little bit what EJ Ballers is doing, and how that you've incorporated that with a player or two from your program? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, definitely. EJ Ballers is something that was it's a program that was developed. I saw that many kids didn't have any opportunities to to just express themselves in sport, and sometimes we got to keep the kids engaged, and we got to keep them moving and going around and doing different things. Therefore, definitely we opened up the gym a little bit for some sessions where we're able to train the kids, right? Have them move around a little bit, have them come out and have a little fun and just enjoy being out and about, right? Obviously, we're following different guidelines, and then at the same time, they get to learn a little bit about basketball. Their dribbling is getting better, shooting, all that kind of stuff, but also the mindset, right? Yes, right now we may be in a situation where it's different from what we're used to, but let's have a good mindset and let's just go out and have fun for 90 minutes at a time, and we've done some activities and then go back to doing our schooling and all that type of stuff. So really, EJ Ballers is about basketball development, but also life skill set development. There's always a way. There's always a way to do things proper. There's always a way to have fun.
And what age groups are you working with when it comes to basketball?
Right now with basketball, I'm working with individuals starting in grade 5 all the way to grade 12, right? So the older kids, the ones that can, be, because we're trying to really keep a safe environment. So the ones that can be by themselves a little bit for 90 minutes and it's going to be all good, making sure that, they're responsible, that, they can wash their hands and do all that kind of stuff, all that good stuff. So we respect the different guidelines so that we're able to, develop and keep everybody in a safe environment.
And one of the biggest things about EJ Ballers also is when it comes to Coach Etienne with Algoma, you're trying to keep your guys on the floor with basketball, but now with EJ Ballers, it's also giving the kids the opportunity who are in elementary school and high school to still play basketball when there's no high school basketball or elementary basketball, right?
Right, that's right. And that's a great opportunity. I have to really thank one of our sponsors, Algoma University. I should say Algoma Athletics, so Varsity Athletics, to help in that situation where they allowed us to use the gym so that kids can come out and use that environment so that they can do a little sport and develop that mental health, right? And also I love the guys because the guys come out once in a while and they come in and say hi to the kids and even we had Roman come out and attend a couple of the EJ Baller sessions. So he was there with the kids and just talking to them about how to get better, how to do different things, and that's part of the social aspect that I would like to have and connect our players with the youth in the community and just let them know that, hey, I was young. I was young once as well, and we know how to do it. And you can go to university as well. You can go and get some great education, and you can come out and play a little sport and enjoy your youth. So, EJ Ballers, that's what it's all about. Really developing a great mindset, a great environment for kids, and making them believe that they can become something.
And now you're headed into your fourth week of 13 weeks. If I was to have a son or daughter who still wanted to participate, are you still taking participants?
Oh yes, I am still taking participants. If you want to participate, it's very simple. You can go on our website. It's ejballers.com. So EJ the letters and ballers like it's written.com, and you get to out there and register and come out and enjoy and have some fun with the coaches, with other kids, and come and learn a little bit about basketball.
And just to touch base, one question I didn't ask about when it comes to the OUA, and I don't know if they made that decision. I know you said OUA basketball is until the 31st now because of them canceling the season, but if you can't play come January, even when it comes to exhibition and that, what happens with a player that, when it comes to the student athletes eligibility? What is their decision on that?
In terms of eligibility, they will not use a year of eligibility. So this year basically is a wash. So even if we were to have, I'm giving you an example, even if we had 20 games, 20 exhibition games, right? Or we had one exhibition game, it would not matter. The kids would still have their full eligibility. So whatever eligibility year they're in this year, it will just be transferred over to the next year. So if I had 3 more years left, then next year I'll still have 3 more years.
So, and biggest question of all, and you can answer it how you want. What are the consequences of the cancellation of OUA basketball regular season this year?
Well, if I talk for our program, the consequences is, you know, the kids did a major sacrifice in terms, we're talking about financial, we're talking about, time sacrifice to come in and have the ability to do these things and train, right? So one of the consequences is really, we kind of tried to do something with them and we kind of let them down. So what we should be doing is providing them with solutions where, they're still engaged, they're still performing in their sports, but we're still supporting them, right? That's a major consequence. I mean, they believed in us, the adults, to make decisions in order for us to have a season, have a sporting season, because we all know that sports help the kids. It helps them stay healthy. It helps them compete. And removing a level of competition for kids is very detrimental in terms of mental health. If you think about it, we all compete. We compete for jobs. We compete to see. When we were kids, we used to race. We used to do all these things. So by removing this level of competition, what we've done is we possibly put our athletes in a position where mentally they might be, I don't want to say unstable, but they might be
Depression?
I wouldn't say depression, but I would say, we brought some sadness. We removed something that was fun in their lives, and it could definitely lead to depression. So that's one of the consequences of removing sport more than anything else. So us as adults, we need to make sure that, we engage these kids and we get into those conversations and we provide an environment where, we can bring some level of competition to them and also bring some enjoyable moments for them, right? That's one of the major consequences that happen. And I don't know. I know that, sometimes we think financial, sometimes we think, safety, sometimes we think health, but we always forget that, one of the major things about life is having the ability to compete and having the ability to do something that you love. And we remove that from the kids. So we, as adults, need to find solutions, need to find ways to make sure that, we maintain some type of training or some type of connection with the kids, sometimes relationship, so that we maintain that love that they have for their sport and that we maintain a great mental health so that they can pass their classes and become great members of society.
And I had talked to Coach Neil Ovey, who's the women's soccer coach and looks after the soccer program, and he had mentioned about his girls saying even with no season for them in the fall, they're still having a great time. They've bonded even more than they usually have over the last couple of years. The veterans have said. When it comes to you as a coach, how do you also create that? I know you are, but how do you also create that with no season?
Oh, for us, it's a dream that we have about getting better and getting to learn about one another, having the ability to learn. We're gonna have a young team, so for us, a lot of the guys are learning a lot of different things, and for them, it's they're gaining that experience and they have the ability to get better, right? And also they get to learn about one another, and we almost have like this family atmosphere where we're talking to each other and we want to get better together. And definitely the guys are definitely having fun, right? And they're enjoying being in the gym. There's places, everything is on complete lockdown. When I say complete, that there's nothing, there's nowhere for them to go. So having that connection is one way we're doing it, and obviously participating in something that we love in a safe environment and in a safe place is a way for the kids to be together and enjoy their time. For us, men's basketball, I mean, it's been going very well so far.
And the biggest thing, again, we know student athletes, they come for their education, they come for sports. But to me, when it comes to sport, you still got to always have that three-letter word, and that's fun, right?
Definitely, it's part of it. It's fun to compete. It's fun to try to win. It's fun to play. It's fun to get better. It's fun to do all these things, right? So as an adult, that's what I'm trying. As an adult, that's what I'm trying to accomplish. As a leader in the community, this is what I'm trying to accomplish as well. By coaching at Algoma University, I'm doing it for the older kids, and doing EJ Ballers, I'm doing it for the younger kids, and I'm gonna keep doing it because I know that it's gonna create some great individuals, and they will remember these times. They remember these times where they had fun, it was enjoyable, and that they grew in an environment where they were able to develop themselves and learn different things and help them become great members of society.
But, Coach, last Thursday, how fun was it telling these players that they didn't have a season?
To be honest with you, I didn't talk to them on Thursday. I said I'm gonna leave the bad news. I'm gonna let the guys that run the finance, all the other people. I'm gonna let the OUA tell them all these things. I'm gonna let these guys do all that, and then I said, guys, we're just gonna talk. We're gonna talk on Friday because there's nothing I could have done to stop this. If they want to provide you with some, if you want to have a bad vibes on someone, these are the guys you need to talk to. we're gonna get back on it on Friday, and I'm gonna let you know what we're gonna do from that moment on.
So you were
So
you weren't
I didn't
allowed.
tell them anything.
So you weren't letting them burst your fun bubble then.
Oh no, 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 no way, no way, no how, because that's who I am. Like, man, listen, I'm made from a different cloth, man. I'm telling you, like me, I remember even when I was a kid, and if we weren't able to do something, for example, I remember there was a year where uh, um, it was tough for us to just get on the court and do all these different things and train and do all that. I believe there was a strike of some sort, probably teacher strike or something like that. And then when they were doing that, I just made sure I went out and took my 50 to 100,000 shots and got better. And we didn't need you guys arguing about everything to stop our dreams of playing ball. So I just went away and done that, right? So I gave them a little bit of time, possibly close to 24 hours. Then on the Friday, I had a talk with them and told them, listen, this is what we're going to be doing. We're not changing anything. We're still going to bring our fun levels. And then you got to make a decision of who you want to be in terms of a player. Do you want to be that guy that's going to be prepared for when the next opportunity comes? Or do you feel like, this is it and get into depression? So I didn't bring no bad vibes. I just told them that's what they said, and this is what we're going to do.
And Coach, last thing, any final words before we let you go today?
Me, the final thing is this. As a society, we kind of really kind of need to sit back and really and look at things that are really important for us. Um, I mean, me, I'm a basketball guy, so I'm seeing, certain things are being taken away from us, right? We got to start as a society just, looking at certain things that are being taken away from us in terms of our businesses, our ability to travel, our ability to do certain things and make some right decisions, right? If that's, making sure that we can stay safe and we can do all these things, we should do that, right? Um, get more informed in terms of what's going on with COVID, so we can make some great decisions. Because as a community, as uh, as everybody's around, as anybody that's around, this thing is definitely affecting us, and we want to go back to a place where we're living life the way we used to, and we're the only ones that's going to be able to make that change happen. So let's do the right things. Um, let's make the right decisions, and let's make sure that something like that does not happen in the future. I don't want to hear about a COVID 2020, COVID 2021 type thing. So let's make sure we do the right things.
Well, Coach, I can't thank you taking time out of your schedule today to sit with us and talk about no basketball. And hopefully we can talk in the next coming weeks or into November about a possible exhibition season with possibly some schools in the province.
Definitely. Thank you, Jim.